All right, fly guys. This is a really easy pattern. I learned it from the guys at Fly Fish Food. Lance Eagan has a video up. He just calls this a jigged streamer. And he ties these up in mostly black and olive, I think is what he recommends. I've also tied these in white, and they're fantastic. So this is just a size 12 jigged, barbless jigged hook, and I believe this is a Firehole 516. That's pretty much all I buy anymore for my jigged hooks. They're great quality, super sharp, sticky in the fish, and haven't had any problems with them. Not to mention the guys at Firehole are just super cool to work with. So there's a little shout out for Firehole. Good hooks, good beads. I also buy their tungsten beads, and they're fantastic. Either the slotted or the round beads. So, all right, let's start this guy. This is just a size 12. I've got a 3.5 mil bead, and we're just gonna start with some black thread. This is 240 denier, 210. Just because I had it on a bobbin, and it's easy and fast, so I don't think it really matters the size of the thread you're gonna use. This one particularly, your thread's all gonna be covered up, so I say use as big as possible so that it goes faster. The next thing is to tie in the tail. This is just gonna be black marabou. This particular variety is Fish Hunter in UV black, and that's from Nature Spirit. So I'm just gonna take off one good feather. And all I wanna do is I wanna actually pull off some of the crazy feathers down here toward the bottom and get rid of those. Same thing on the other side. And then that leaves us with a nice sparse tail. And we want this tail a little longer than you think you want it, because we want it to flow and move and be pretty crazy in the water. So we're gonna tie this guy in, little pinch wrap, get that guy nice and tight. And then I'm gonna wrap this forward on the rest of this marabou. Don't cut it off right next to where you tied it in, because it'll leave you a big bump there. And we want this thing to be nice and smooth. It'll cover up pretty well with the chenille we put on, but this just makes it a little bit nicer, easier, in my opinion. So let's work our thread backwards again. Next step is just a quick little piece of 4X mono. You can use whatever you want. I just have a really crappy spool of tippet that I found I didn't like to tie. The knots were really sticky, it seemed. And so I've just got that little spool of tippet on my tying bench now. And I never fish with it because it's really crappy, but I use it to tie with because it doesn't matter if it's crappy. But that's gonna go through our chenille like a rib to strengthen it up a little. So you should be able to get by with just a little 2 to 3 inch piece of this stuff. And that's gonna tie in right there at the back. One of my favorite little streamers to fish with because it's so easy to tie, super fast, fish like it. You can change it up for color however you want. Put a different color bead on it, maybe a chartreuse bead on this thing would work really well. I tie some balanced leeches with a bright chartreuse green fluorescent bead, and fish love that guy. So maybe a different color bead would be pretty cool on this. All right, so for this, I'm gonna wrap the chenille. Did I show you that? Medium polar chenille in black, UV polar. And the medium size is important because it gives you the right size fibers coming off of there. That's what we want. Okay, so we're gonna go with a backwards wind going back up to put this chenille on. And when we come forward with the mono to rib this forward, we're gonna go back the right direction with that one. We'll go forward. Opposite what we did with the chenille here. We get that tied in. Get those fibers going backwards as much as possible. Now I like to put a little, we don't want to lose that stuff, so put a little knot on the end of that. Then get that out of the way with the bobbin cradle. And the next step is just to wind this. Remember, this is going to go, we went backwards with the chenille, so we're going to go forward with the tippet. Now I'm just moving this back and forth to get it down between, you can see I wiggle in that thing. That puts it down between the fibers on the chenille. And if it looks like you've got some kind of trapped under there, just use a little dubbing brush and pull them out of there as you go. And I think that's the easiest way.
Motion detected at the front door.
There we go. Kick that guy out of the way. And this is a little trick. When I'm tying down this kind of ribbing and stuff, you can see I come forward and then I pinch that material with my thumb right on the edge of the bobbin. Then I can reach behind, grab it, and I put in some wraps on top of that guy. Super easy, and I don't lose it and get things going the wrong direction. Okay, now we can get rid of our mono. You can see that guy's nice and scraggly, kind of messy looking. Now we'll give this guy a whip finish and be done with it. Zap this guy with a little super glue. And we're good. And that is a jigged streamer. Super easy, super fast. Tie them in a bunch of colors and we're good to go. Thanks for watching.